Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 4, the need to establish the rule of law. In the previous chapter, the role of the parliament, we have done the main function of the parliament is to make the laws. So the parliament function is to make the laws. Legislature, executive and judiciary is there. There are the three organs of the government. Legislature make the laws, executives are the people who implement the laws, and judiciary sees that everybody is following the law or not. If they are not, they are violating the law, then punishment is to be given, okay, or fine is to be imposed on them. So judiciary interprets the law. It sees that everybody is following the law or not. Legislature make laws, executive implement laws, and judiciary interprets the law. Next is in your democratic government, the people means a democratic government should be fully aware about the needs and about the aspirations of the people. They should work according to the people needs. If they want to be there in the country, they want to be in the rule for a long period of time, then a democratic government should work according to the needs of the people. The democratic government main objective is the welfare of the people only. So the laws are made on the basis of the needs of the society. What are the needs of the society? According to that, laws are being made. According to Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, it states that a state shall not deny any person equality before the law. You cannot deny any person that he or she is not equal. Okay, everybody is equal in the eyes of law. Or equal protection of the law within the territory of India. Either you belong to any religion, any caste, you follow any culture, it does not matter. Equal protection is to be given to all the people who are living in the country, in the territory of India. This is the law. What is the law? That equality before law. Okay, everybody is equal in the eyes of law. No discrimination is there. That no man on this land is above the law. It applies that everyone is equal. Okay, we cannot discriminate anybody on the basis of their religion, their caste, their color, their sex, etc. There are several provisions which are made by our constitution that makes the rule of the law. The members of the Constituent Assembly were against the arbitrary exercise of power in independent India. Arbitrary means the selective use of law. Absence or selective use of law. You can underline the word and write the meaning. Arbitrary means that absence or the selective use of law. There is one example and the story is there in your book that not long we have read in the newspaper that a very senior police officer's son has committed a crime, a murder. So the son is hiding and he is avoiding the police. His son has committed a serious crime. The senior police officer's son has committed a serious crime. And the court has issued an arrest warrant against him, against his son, and arrest warrant is being issued. So this is not unusual in our country. It happens. The rich and powerful people, they avoid the law. Okay, they browbeat. Browbeat means they bear it down and circumvent. Circumvent means they find a way around how to tackle with this situation. Okay, with the law. And sometimes they are successful also. That's why the rule is being made that equality should be there before the law. The rule of law means that all are equal in the eyes of law, that equality should be given to all the citizens who are living in the country India. No one is above the law. Either it is a senior bureaucrat means an official in the government department, or a person in the cabinet minister. Punishment for crime or you are violating any law is the same for all. Either you are the Prime Minister of India. If you are violating any rule which is being written in the constitution and you have done any crime, then punishment is to be given to you. all culprits, whoever are the culprits, they have to follow the same legal procedure which is being made by our legislature. Okay, all have to follow. The rule of law is being established by our Constitution of India. During British rule, medieval and ancient India, the rule of law was not practiced at that time. Rules were different for different people at that time, but now the rules are equal for all. This is basically based on the equal status to all the citizens of the India. In ancient India, there were innumerable and overlapping local laws. If you have done some offense or crime to some caste, they were lenient. Like upper caste, they don't used to say anything. If the lower caste have committed the crime, then punishment is to be given in the ancient India, but not to the upper caste people, upper class people. Similarly, punishment were prescribed as an offense against a Brahmin or a Kshatriya was harsher than an offense against a Vaishya or a Shudra. If a Brahmin and Kshatriya at that time, okay, it was divided into 4 societies. So if you are a Brahmin and a Kshatriya, the punishment of offense is lenient, somehow lenient, but offense against a Vaishya and Shudras are much harsher than Brahmins and Kshatriyas. This began to change and slow down but steadily during the modern and medieval period. Now Britishers, it is generally belief of the people that Britishers introduced the rule of law. No, it is not true. They did not establish a definite legal procedure in India which brought administrative and legal unity in the uniformity in India. British colonists, they introduced the rule of law on 2 grounds. First, the colonial rule was arbitrary. Arbitrary means it does not apply equal to all the Europeans, the landed elite people, the princes, and the other powerful sections of the society. The British rules were made for discrimination and partiality was there. So we cannot say the Britishers made the rule of law. Okay, because firstly when they made it, it was not applicable to all the citizens. Okay, it does not apply to Europeans, it does not apply to elite people, the princes and the powerful people. Second, the Indian freedom fighters played a major role in the development of the legal sphere under our colonial era. The main examples of the arbitrariness of British law, arbitrariness means lack of control in the use of authority. Arbitrariness means the lack of control in the use of the authority. One such law was Sedition Act. So a rule came at the second I'm talking about the Indian freedom fighters. So Indian freedom fighters played a major role in the development of the legal sphere in India. So there are many examples of arbitrariness. Arbitrariness means lack of control in the use of the authority. So one such example was your Sedition Act 1870. What is the meaning of the word sedition? Sedition here means the conduct or speech that incite the people to rebel against the authority. Okay, when you give some speech and it incites the people to rebel against the authority, it was Sedition Act 1870. Any person found criticizing the Britishers in any form, they are arrested. If you are criticizing the Britishers in any form, then the people were arrested at that time on charge of sedition. Sedition means a conduct or speech that encouraged the people that you have to rebel against the authority. They could be kept behind the bars without any use of trial. Without any trial, they used to be put behind the bars. Another arbitrary law was the Arms Act 1878. Okay, Arms Act 1878, it made its criminal offense to keep, bear or traffic in arms without license. If you are not having license, you cannot deal in arms. Okay, you cannot bear or keep an arm. Arm means weapon with you. The worst feature of this act was racial discrimination. Racial discrimination it introduced. Europeans, the Anglo-Indians and some categories of the government officials were exempted from this operation of the act. Okay, some of the Europeans, the Anglo-Indians, and some categories of the government officials, they were exempted from the operation of this act. So racial discrimination was there. With the growth of the education, a new middle class emerged which keeps on criticizing the arbitrary and corrosive use of the authority by the Britishers. The Britishers were forcefully doing everything. Okay, the Indian nationalists now they started demanding social and economic justice and equality. Now the Indian people, they stood up. They want that equal society, means equal status in the society to be given to the Indians also. They were not given opportunities also. Lack of opportunity was there. The educated youth turned out to be legal professionalism and journalism. New class of lawyers begins to criticize the laws which were made by the court. Okay, they were demanding the respect in the court. Many newspapers and periodicals began to publish such news. They analyze, they criticize the policies made by the Britishers. The British rule were exposed to the public, that what the Britishers are doing with the Indians. Now it is exposed to the public. The educated Indians play a very important role in making this rule of law. In the evolution of the concept of the rule of law, the Indians played a very important role. The constitution became the very basic law. Whatever the laws are written in the constitution, you have to follow it. You cannot deny it. If you are violating it, then punishment or fine will be imposed on you. So, in the parliament, when parliament passes new law, it alters means changes the existing laws. These laws form the basic structure of the constitution. The new laws which are made, the existing laws which are altered means change, some provisions are changed. So this forms the basic structure of our constitution. Here they say that you are familiar, in the previous chapter we read about Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. It gave equal share in the family property to the girl child also. In the ancestral property of the father, if the child belongs to a Hindu family, the girl is also having equal share in the property, equal right to in the property. So equal share of the family property to daughters, sons and their mothers. Hindu Succession Amendment Act. Now comes the Right of Information Act 2005. It has helped that you can check the corruption in the government departments. Okay, several laws have been passed to give employment to the landless rural poor and to control the pollution. So there are many laws which have been made. Hindu Succession Amendment Act we discussed in the previous chapter, that equal share is there in the property of the father, sons, mothers and the daughters. They are having equal share in the property of the father. If I talk about the Right to Information Act 2005, it has helped that you can check the corruption in the various government department by filing an RTI against them. So there are many rules have been made to provide the employment to the landless rural people and to control the pollution in the country. Many laws have been passed. Next topic is how new law comes about. So the basic function of the parliament is to make laws. If a bill is to become a law, it has to go through a long procedure. So parliament passes new bill, there is a lot of debate and discussion about that bill, and that bill becomes a law when the president approves it. So introduction of bill can be like that. The political party, they may pressurize the government to initiate a bill to fulfill their election promise. Okay, like I am the leader of a political party, my government is being formed, so I can say to the parliament that I have promised in my elections that I will pass this bill, this new law. So kindly the government may pressurize the parliament that pass the bill in order that I have to fulfill my election promise. Interest groups, media, citizens, They may also persuade the government for a particular legislature, for a particular law. Like Revolt Act came on 10th March 1919. It gave Britishers enormous power. Okay, they can keep anybody without any trial in the jail. Okay, they can put anyone in the jail without any trial. If they are having suspicion on any person, he or she can be put into jail without any trial. They say no dalil, no vakil, no appeal. Gandhiji started a Satyagraha Sabha to pledge that this is the disobey of the law. A general strike. We are going to talk about the Revolt Act. It came on 10th March 1919. This act gave the enormous power to the Britishers that if they are having suspicion on any person, they can put him or her into jail without any trial. It says that no dalil, no vakil, and no appeal. Gandhiji started Satyagraha against this because this was the disobey of the law. A general strike was called on 6th April 1919, which was a unique success. Then Jallianwala Bagh incident happened on 13th April. What happened? The people were gathered into Jallianwala Bagh for a meeting. They didn't know that martial law is being imposed. What is martial law? That you cannot gather in a place. So General Dyer came with his troops. He just said his troops that exit gate should be closed and open firing was done. In the open firing, many Indians were killed. Why General Dyer did so? He did so that in the mind of the Indians, there should be threat. Okay, there should be threatened by the Britishers that we can do anything. So this was done to threaten the Indians. It was in the mind of the General Dyer. Do you know domestic violence refers to injury or harm or threat of injury or harm caused by an adult male, usually against means wife. The husband do it against the wife. That is domestic violence. At home, when the wife is beaten by the husband, or the wife is said that by the husband that I'll kill you, or she is injured by the husband, the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act came into effect in 2006. It provides full protection to the women against the domestic violence. If domestic violence is being done at your home, you can approach to court according to this law. This was your half chapter. Half we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.